All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Today, I want to give you guys a full in-depth breakdown of what a catch event is in PokeMMO, what you might need, what to expect, how worth it is, just kind of like all the major questions about catch events, just all in one video. I don't want to do catch event videos like when something is. If you want to know when they are, good place to know is on the PokeMMO forums. If you want to keep up there, the website that I made a video on before, it's like Pokemon Netfly, something like that. That's also a really good website to check out when they are, as well as Petrowski's Discord server. There's usually someone or a bot, I don't know, who usually links when the events are and, like what you might need for them, all that kind of stuff. So that's a good server to join as well if you want to go check them out there. But yeah, for this video, I just want to give you guys an all-encompassing guide on what a catch event is, like how often they happen, like all that kind of good stuff, and the most frequently asked questions about it. So let's go through an example of one basically right now. This is a forum article on the PokeMMO forums. And as you can tell, it's called "What's a King Without a Queen?" It tells you when it is, Thursday, April 27th. These are the Pokemon. Obviously, there's usually some artwork, depending on, what the Pokemon that you might want to catch would be. As far as the information goes, the things to note is the date, so when it's going to happen, the time exactly, so 2100 UTC, 1700 EDT, 1800 BRT. There's a time zone converter as well. I'll leave a link to this one in this specific article, but generally most catch event articles or forum posts are relatively the same. Now, it takes place on Route 22 on Kanto on Channel 1. You don't need to be on Channel 1, but you need to be in the Kanto region on Route 22 for this to count. These will be judged, basically, so I'll get to that at the end. The duration, you're going to have 1 hour for catching and then 10 minutes for player system entry. So basically, it's going to be within, let's just say 2 to 3 p.m. your time, right? So if it's 2 to 3 p.m. and you catch a Pokemon, let's say you catch one of these Pokemon that I'll talk about at the end. Let's say you catch a Nidoran, right? But it's 3:02 p.m. That Pokemon is not valid, okay? So it has to be within the hour, the designated hour in the time zone converter here for your Pokemon entry to count. As far as scoring goes, it's going to be total sum of Vs plus species bonus plus nature bonus is your total score. I'll talk about all that at the end, but I think we're going to talk about it a little bit here. So yeah, here are your Pokemon as valid entries: your Nidoran male, Nidoran female, Mankey, Spearow, and Rattata. Now, these +3s is basically a bonus. So if you end up catching a Mankey and it has 140 total IVs, your Pokemon is only going to have 140 versus a Nidoran with 140 because of its species bonus. That's what this is. Your species bonus, it gets +3. So it's going to be 140 + 3, 143. Now, nature bonus, the next thing up is your brave or calm. In this case, it's going to change depending on the catch event. So just, don't get, accustomed to just like these two. But let's say you catch a Nidoran with brave nature, it's going to be +6 on top of whatever the current IVs are. So if it was 100 IVs, it would be 106 because you got the brave plus the Nidoran male. Okay, so that's kind of how scoring is going to work in a nutshell. Let's talk about the rules real quick. First through third places are sorted high to low. So, 180 is let's say 186 is the highest, right? Well, actually, in theory, it could be 192 because you could get a perfect IV Nidoran plus Brave Nature. That would be 192. So that's technically the highest entry. Generally, from my experience, from my know-how, a catch event like first place is going to range between like 165 and up. That's, yeah, usually 170 and up, to be honest with you guys. But sometimes, if it's a rare Pokemon, like a Safari Zone Pokemon, maybe like 165, 160 would win. That's usually first through third. So this is just helpful to know. If you get like a 122 and you're all excited, not to burst your bubble, but you're probably not going to win with a 122, okay? People are probably going to get at least like 150 to 160s, and they're going to place in your first through third. Fourth place is what's called the lowest score. So this is for Pokemon, or for not Pokemon, this is for people who maybe you're catching stuff and then you end up catching like a 6 IV Pokemon or something. Like that's really low. That's like 1 stat overall across all the categories: HP, attack, defense, all that stuff. Yeah, for those people, like you're probably gonna win the lowest score. You're probably gonna win fourth place. As far as prizes go, I'll talk about that at the end. But yeah, you can only submit 1 entry. You can only play with 1 account or character, so don't have I don't know, someone else playing your other account or something like that. I guess they could, but you know, it can't be you, I guess. Must be all Pokemon must be caught within the event time and at the event location. So you know, you can't catch, let's say, a Nidoking in Sinnoh, for instance, when the catch event here is specifically in Kanto, and again on Route 22. Don't change your Pokemon. Keep them untrained, unevolved. Like, don't level them up. Don't do anything to them. Just once you catch them, put it in your box or keep it in your party, and just kind of leave it there. You know, don't EXP train it. Don't give it an EXP share. Nothing. Don't do anything. Because evolved or unevolved Pokemon will not be accepted as a valid entry. You must be the OT, meaning you basically have to catch the Pokemon yourself. You must link your entry to any participating staff member via Whisper to submit it. Let me show you what I mean real quick. Let me just switch over to the Pokemon. So as you can tell here, Whisper. So basically, let's just say that this dude right here was like a mod or something like that. I would basically just whisper him and be like, hey, let's just say I would just drag, like, let's say this Beldum was my entry, right? I would just drag this Beldum over here, and then you can see down here, it's like, it would show what it is and just say like, hey, this is my entry. I'm not going to whisper because it's some random dude. I'm not going to actually hit it, but yeah, that would be how you would do it. Okay, so that just to make sure that you guys know, just keep the Pokemon in your party here, and then just drag it over to your whispers, your chat, or whatever, and make sure you're chatting to a mod. That's the important thing to note. Okay, so that's how you whisper. That's how you submit an entry. Keep the Pokemon in your team till results are shown, and then in the event of a tie, the winner is determined by the earliest catch time. That basically just means, you know, if you catch a 172, someone else catches a 172, but you caught it 20 minutes before, he would be, or you would be the winner. You'd be higher placed than the person who caught it 20 minutes after you. So it's important to catch as fast as possible, but obviously a lot of that's random as well. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Oop, a little too much. The participating staff, these 3 mods are going to be your mods. These are the people you're going to be submitting your entries to. So just you don't like need to know this right now, but you know, they will be like in the global chat and stuff like that, being like, hey, I'm taking entries. Just know that these are going to be the people that you want to basically whisper your entry to. It's always important to know. So yeah, Sai, Cosmuth, and Deus Bruno. Now, as far as prizes go, these are going to be the prizes. Sometimes it's going to be a shiny Pokemon, sometimes it's going to be something else, but let's just make sure that we know what the prizes are, because they are very useful. Now, first place prize is going to be your pick of a Nidoking or Nidoqueen at level 50, your choice of nature, 4 moves, and 6 selectable IVs. So basically, you could get it like a perfect Nidoqueen, perfect Nidoking, whatever you want it to be specifically, and 1,000 reward points. If you forgot what reward points are used for, it's basically in the gift shop. You can buy, for instance, like a 15-day donator status. That's pretty useful. Yeah, there's a lot of like various stuff you can buy. Some vanities. You can sell your voucher to get like more in-game money, that kind of stuff. Second place is gonna be a 500, and then third and fourth place is 250 reward points. So not too much, but you know, it's a fun catch event. It's a fun event overall. It's just a good way to spend an hour, kind of break up the monotony of, you know, doing gym runs all the time or catching dittos or breeding. You know, it's something just to get out and like interact with people. Like usually you see like a ton of people there. You see mods in places that you can't be at, and it's just a fun overall experience. Now, I also do want to talk about specifically if my game will show up. There we go, my game is back. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple of different types of Pokemon that you might need for this catch event. So the first thing up is what's known as, I guess I don't really need to have it out, but yeah, the first thing up is called a synchronized Pokemon. So a synchronized Pokemon basically is going to give you a 25%, is it 25%? Let me switch this here. Synchronize will show here. Yeah, 20% chance. Okay, so it's a 20% chance for Pokemon to match your nature. So let's say one of the bonus natures for an event was Adamant. I would lead my party with this Kadabra because it has Synchronize and Adamant. And with that, there's a 20% chance that the Pokemon is going to have Adamant, which is, you know, any kind of bonus. Maybe it's a +3, maybe it's a +5. Very useful in a catch event, right? So that's definitely needed. Not needed, but it's definitely recommended, especially in like a Safari Zone hunt, something like that. You never know when you might come across something like that. Another Pokemon that you might want is a catching Pokemon. I love Breloom. I know some people like Smeargle, but personally, I'm just a big Breloom fan. You know, False Sweep and Spore, very, very useful, very simple to just take down Pokemon and catch. Something you might need specifically is a Pokemon with Soak. Basically, if you're running into a Ghost type or a Grass type, you know, and it's hard to Spore or impossible to Spore, or you can't Fall Swipe, something like that. Basically, Soak is going to change the user's type to water. And so obviously water types can get hit by False Swipe, water types can get hit by Spore. So yeah, it's nice to bring a Soak Pokemon as well in the event that, you know, it's like a Geodude catch event or a Voltorb catch event, anything with like self-destruct. Damp is also a very useful ability, prevents the use of self-destructing moves. So definitely keep that in mind if that's something, you know, to be concerned with. But those are just some of the main Pokemon that you might need. You know, if it's in a location that's kind of annoying as well, I'd recommend Defog. Basically, kind of just gets rid of fog in like a random scenario where, you know, your False Swipes or your Spores might miss. It's also very useful for catching Alpha types. For those of you who are wondering about that, Defog is very useful. And then I think there was one more I'm missing. Oh yeah, here we go. It is Cinccino, but really any cute charm Pokemon. So sometimes there's a gender bonus, not often, but sometimes there could be a gender bonus where cute charm, let me just pull it out and you can see, cute charm is basically a 25% chance to encounter opposite gender enemies. So if you have a male type, you're obviously going to see more females, and here I have a female Cinccino, you're going to see more males. So yeah, whatever the case may be, sometimes, again, not often it's going to be a gender type, but yeah, it's usually going to be like a nature bonus, a species bonus, and a what do you call it? I'm blanking. A species bonus, a nature bonus. I think that's it. Yeah, it's just those two. But yeah, that's basically it for catch events. Again, they don't happen super often. They kind of do. Maybe like 2 to 3 a week. They're usually at random times, so that, you know, people in Europe, in Asia, in America, in South America, like different parts of the world can kind of play together. So, you know, obviously you're not going to hit every single one, most likely, unless you're like really dedicated to the game. And honestly, I'm not going to lie to you guys, the chances of winning are very, very low. Okay, just very, very low. There's so many people out there doing this. You know, they get a lot of attention. They probably get 300 to 500 entries, I would guess, per event. That's a lot of people. Your chances of that are not huge, but hey, you never know. You know, I definitely haven't come close. I think my highest score ever was probably like a 148, and I think the third place was like 168 that day. So I was still 20 off, even though that was like my best like event ever. I definitely do want to record and stream certain catch events, so be on the lookout for that. You know, subscribe if you're new to the channel, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, hopefully I explained everything pretty well for you guys. If there's anything still you're missing or confused about, you know, let me know in the comments. I try to talk about what you might need, how to prepare. Definitely have enough Pokeballs. That's a big thing, you know. Definitely have Ultra Balls. If I just hit my bag real quick, you know, definitely have Ultra Balls, Repeat Balls, Timer Balls maybe. You really only need like Ultra Balls, I feel like, for most catch events. There's not a whole lot else you might need, but yeah, man, I mean, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm doing my best to make sure I didn't miss anything. Usually these catch events are pretty accessible. Most of the times you will need to have finished a story region though, so keep that in mind. You know, it's some parts are like very far deep into Sinnoh or Unova, maybe you didn't finish, or the Sevi Islands on Kanto, maybe you didn't finish that. So I'd recommend finishing them before, but you know, some catch events are very like beginner friendly, like Pidgey or something like that. So yeah, hopefully that explains everything. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Peace, peace, and peace.